Hey guys, it's just our weekly fit tip. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about heart health and cardio. And a lot of times when people think of heart health, the first thing that comes to mind is cardio and, like a low fat diet. But there is some new research, and you've probably heard us talk about this before, that showing that cardio alone may not be enough, or even the best way to improve heart health by itself. And where we found this is basically a pretty large study was done from the Department of Environmental Health at Harvard. And what they did is they looked at cardiovascular disease related events and push-up capacity versus endurance testing and cardiovascular disease related events. So what they basically were looking at was how many push-ups people could do set to a metronome of like, I think it was a 1 second cadence. It was like 1 second down, pause, 1 second up. And they compared that to the same people on their stress test levels. And what they found in with these was that people who could do 40 plus push-ups, they had a 96% less occurrence of a cardiovascular related event in the upcoming year compared to people who could not do the 40 push-ups. Now, these studies were done on men, and they were done through the fire department, is where they did this research. The data would still be similar for women, except the number of push-ups would not necessarily be quite as high, would be the takeaway. And that's not to say women can't do 40 push-ups or anything like that. There would just be some adjustment with that. And what they found is those that could only do somewhere between 0 and 10 push-ups, they actually had a 15% increased risk of a cardiovascular event. And then some of the people that did really well on their stress test and passed that and looked really good on that, so there were some of those that couldn't do the 40 push-ups. They actually had a higher risk of cardiovascular issue within that year, or event, I should say. And again, like I started to mention, there's flaws with all of these. It was done on men. It was done through the state fire department is who they were researching. But what the takeaway is that push-up capacity plays a bigger role in our body's health and our heart health and things like that. And a couple reasons for that would be, one, if you're able to do 40 push-ups, you're probably at a more ideal body weight or closer to your ideal body weight, just to be able to do those. You also have you have to have some endurance while you're doing those push-ups. A lot of times when people have a cardiac event, it's when they're doing some sort of physical activity. We're in the fall here, hunting season's coming. You always hear about these hunters that get a deer and then they're dragging it out and they have a heart attack. And they might be, they might walk every day, they might run, all that sort of stuff. But if they don't have that physical work capacity, as soon as they start dragging that deer, then their heart can't handle that. Well, I know a lot of you aren't hunters, but that same thing kind of carries over into like day-to-day activity when we do things like carrying heavy like suitcases upstairs, or we're doing yard work like raking leaves right now, and you got on the tarp dragging them over, like all that sort of stuff. Anytime we do a physical exertion, that puts a higher stress on the heart and could cause an event if the heart's not healthy there. So and again, like I said, they use 40 push-ups. That seemed to be the thing, the cutoff there for men. Women, there's probably, if they studied the same thing there, they would have probably a slightly different number with that as well too. Again, there's probably some age adjustments. I mean, they looked at 1,100, it was 1,104 actually, firefighters, and they were between the ages of 21 and 66. So, I mean, you've got a pretty decent sized study. You've got a pretty broad age group in there. But again, people in their 70s, 80s, that push-up capacity might be adjusted down a little bit for age there and things like that. But the takeaway with this is that by being able to do more push-ups, you're probably going to be healthier. You're going to have a healthier heart, all that sort of stuff, because you're able to put out physical exertion on top of the endurance that's required to do those as well too. It's not to say to give up your cardio and doing that. It still has a place and everything in there. So that's just kind of our tip for today. Hope you guys enjoy these, and if you have any questions, just reach out, let us know. We're here. So talk to you guys next week.